What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Your boy's been gone, but your boy's back, and he's ready as ever, getting some things done, talk about some Juventus. That's what we're doing today. We have the latest rundown when it comes to stuff, especially when it comes to the Mercado, and finishing the season off right. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it's Sunday, May 8th, 2022, and of course, I've got your latest rundown of all things Juventus. Before we do anything, though, I just want to wish you guys a little bit, because we know there's plenty on the channel. Just want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day. To you guys, your mothers, whoever, there's a lot of mothers on the channel. I've seen the comments, you guys are a lot of mothers. You know what I'm saying. I'm kidding. But anyway, also just, happy Mother's Day to your all's mothers, to everybody involved. I just want to put that out there. I don't know if that's a international holiday or if it's just America. Either way, happy Mother's Day. Say hello to your mother for me, right? All right, let's get into it. We're going to have the latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every day. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos, and let's just jump into it. So, the very first news story of the day we have here is that of Paul Pogba, talking about his current situation and maybe potentially seeing him back at Juventus. First up, we have Jacques Talbot? It's probably Talbot because it's French, right? Anyway, with the mirror, I think it's French. I don't know. I honestly don't know. All right, talking about Pogba's situation, saying, told Pogba has held talks with Juventus and PSG in recent days, along with Vincenzo Raiola, cousin of Mino, recently deceased. I don't know why I need to throw that in there, but just want to say, rest your soul. Good guy. Understand, despite the French champions offering a similar wage to Juventus, the Man United midfielder is more likely to head back to Turin in the summer. And then we follow it up with another report just saying, or from him saying that Man City's interest is there. Or maybe that's the Mirror saying this. I don't know how we... Just work with me, right? That's what we do here on the channel. Man City's interest is there, but the trouble at the club is that they are unable to formally offer Pogba anything until after the end of the season. Believe under the current laws of Juventus and Serie A that Juventus can do that. So Juventus has a little bit of a heads up. They're leading the way. They're leading the way when it comes to any possible situation of bringing in Paul Pogba, especially when it comes to competition against Man City. I know a lot of people have asked me recently on the channel, and we talked about it just the other day when I was on here, saying about how news was really quiet with Paul Pogba. We didn't know where he was going. PSG's been rumored out there, but there's nothing that's really been substantial when it comes to him. Now you're starting to see a little bit of that start to build, and we'll see what happens in his future. If he comes back to Juventus, it'll be a good get for Juve. I've seen some people even throw out the idea, the dream to bring him and Milinkovic-Savic. If it does happen, I will literally faint on this channel. I will convulse and faint on this channel. You guys can enjoy it. I'll be that excited. You guys can enjoy seeing me, whatever, geek out over that. Negative Nancy, I don't think that both of them are possible at the same time. I think really what you're looking at is an either-or situation. But Paul Pogba is a really good option. I think that's going to be a topic, though. We're going to have a discussion over Paul Pogba. Because you're not getting Paul Pogba from when he was here originally. You're getting this latest iteration of Paul Pogba. We'll run through some of his stats. We'll also talk about his age and potential injury issues. We'll talk about all that. Milinkovic-Savic and Paul Pogba, I used to think about them pretty close. I'm going to throw my opinion out there. Milinkovic-Savic is still going to be number one if Juve can get him. Then Paul Pogba will come to that after the fact. Anyway, that's how it stands right now. We'll see how that continues to develop, and we'll continue to follow that. Next up, we have Daniele Longo giving us another update regarding the situation going on with Moise Kean and his future at Juventus. He says that PSG have shown interest in Moise Kean's return to France, but discussions have not gone any further yet. The problem is the valuation, the figures, the money. It's the money. It's all about money. Everton want 28 million euros from Juve for the redemption. However, Juventus cannot afford any capital losses. And there's one thing that we know about Moise Kean is he did not pan out when it came to the amount of money that Juve were expecting, the return on investment that Juve were expecting to get from him. As it stands right now, I mean, I was in just vetoed over here. If you don't know what vetoing is, I call it vetoing is what I just that's what it is. So we can get a counter on that maybe on some lives that we do here. But anyway, when it comes to Moise Kean, the thing is you're expecting to get a little bit more of a better output when it comes to goals. I'm not saying I didn't expect him to come in and be the next Ronaldo, right? That's just ridiculous. You didn't expect him to come in and replace that output. But he was coming in a difficult situation, Ronaldo's departure, and he hasn't lived up to even a scintilla of that, unfortunately. He had a goal here recently, a couple games ago, but at the same time, it's not what Juventus need and what they expect out of him moving forward. So we'll see how that goes, if Juventus can end up offloading him. But it seems right now that he probably isn't going to be, and that's what we're going to talk about this next part. Is Romeo Gresti talking about his situation, saying that for Moise Kean, there are conditions for redemption that are not impossible. Let's say that the redemption is almost mandatory. In my opinion, difficult for him to leave this summer. Juventus already have too many players in that department to replace. So basically, the situation they got into, the contract situation with Everton on repurchasing him after they sold him a couple years ago, is not super beneficial to Juventus because Moise Kean hasn't panned out to be what he was even at PSG. Obviously, the situation is very different. Creativity, midfielders, guys like that who can help him score. But at the same time, if you watch the last game, if you watch that last match, you know what? I am thankful that I had the day off that day and that I wasn't on the channel. I would have been yelling and screaming, probably worse than Alejandro was harsh. But I would have been theatrical when it came to it, right? How do you miss that many goals? You should have had 4 or 5, maybe even 6 goals that game. And you missed every single one of them. That last one was inexcusable. Let's just say that. Anyway, but it looks like right now Juventus may not be able to move him on. PSG are interested in him, but it's probably not going to happen right now. So he may be another player you're stuck with. I hope that doesn't factor in to the Raspadori situation, which we'll cover a little bit later. All right. Next up, we need to talk about Miretti and his situation, if he will be staying here at Juventus moving on in the future. Right now, Tuttosport are reporting saying that evaluations are underway at the Juventus regarding the future of Miretti and that of Fagioli. The feeling is that there will be only room for one in the, I don't know why I paused like that, one in the 2022-2023 squad, while for the other one a year on loan at a Serie A club is possible. Yeah, this is something that I've hypothesized for a little bit now, wondering because they're talking about trying to keep Miretti, but Miretti probably is filling in the same situation of Fagioli and Nicolo Ravella. And Ravella, obviously, we look at the output. Ravella's got some pretty good numbers, but he's been playing a little bit longer than some guys. Fagioli's people love him. People close to the club love Fagioli, or not close to the club, fans of the club love Fagioli. Is he going to end up panning out? Yes, he's getting, Cremonese or moving on to Serie A. Good for them. Is he what Juve need right now? I don't know. I like what I saw from Miretti. If it's up to me, I was on Rovella. Now I'm shifted over to Miretti. I think I ride with Miretti. And that's my personal opinion. What are your thoughts there? Which of those 3 players would you pick? Or if it just comes down to Miretti and Fagioli and somehow Rovella still comes in, who would you end up picking? Let me know in the comment section down below. Next up, we'll talk about basically a PSG and a player that could come to Juventus. Looks like actually was more serious than I even thought of. I'm not super high on this player, but it could be an option. Juventus really talked about this is Romeo Gresti, who confirmed that Juventus really talked to the entourage of Paredes about 2 weeks ago. He's the player on his way out of PSG. Another option there that Juventus could be looking at. Let's continue on, though. Next up, the latest report is that Juventus are not looking at this player. Romeo Gresti comes out and confirms the Manchester United player, Matic, Juventus are not interested in signing him. There are some ridiculous posts coming out there saying that basically, yes, bianconerizone shares it. We'll talk about what I look at, because I saw a couple people comment and be like, why is bianconerizone tweeting this out? The way I look at this, we're not a news reporting system. That's not what we do. What we are doing is we are compilers. I'm a compiler, right? We compile reports and get them out there to you all, so you all have a knowledge of what is going on, what's being said out there. We will sift through the ones that we think are interesting or whatever. It's all depending on Alejandro, what he thinks about, but at the same time, guys, like it's not this is what we're reporting. It's a this is a compiled bit of information you guys are getting from Bianconerizonechannel. Anyway, they're saying that Matic would be a player that would be sold to Juventus, or that he would definitely be joining them. It was absolutely ridiculous. I think I said something along the lines of, at this point, Juventus need, like, I was joking, but I was saying that Juventus need to sue for defamation, because every single player out there just gets to get mentioned with Juventus. No matter what's happening, they're going to mention that if their name is out there and they're going to be on the Mercado, Juventus is up there, and Juventus is going to be said that they're number one on there, and they want to buy them. It's ridiculous at this point. It's just ridiculous. That's the only thing I can really say about it. Let's continue on, though, to the next news story that we have today, and that is talking about my guy, Giacomo Raspadori, the player that we want to see come to Juventus. Romeo Gresti talks about him saying that there is no meeting already set, but I think Juventus and Sassuolo will be meeting. Raspadori is definitely a name to watch out for at Juventus, and I think Raspadori, to me, seems one of those players that's just, this is such a weird term, or not weird term, old-timey term. He's a shoo-in to become a Juventus player. I think it's just a matter of time, not about, if. It's a win, not an if. We'll see what happens. They'll have to go up to meet. They have good relationship with Carnevale now. Get it done. We'll see what happens. I also just wondered, and that goes back to the earlier conversation about Moise Kean. Earlier reports were saying that Moise Kean would determine if Juventus would be able to go in and get a player like him. If they'd have to sell Moise Kean first to get him off the books, or at least work out some deal with Everton where they don't have to buy him. But at the same time, I think Raspadori is a player that they're really seriously interested in, and I think even with the Moise Kean situation, they'll probably go in and get Raspadori. That's just my personal opinion. Nothing behind it besides just me and my thinking. Next up, AS reports talking about an old name is back in the news. If you were here, if you're not here, but if you were paying attention a couple years ago, you're going to know this name. Juventus are keeping an eye on Ghanaian midfielder Thomas Partey, who has a contract until 2025 and is valued at 35 million euros by Arsenal. This interesting little way that they go about this, Juventus and them, obviously they're interested in Archer at Juventus. Juventus, I don't know how seriously they're interested on Partey. I know before that they were interested, and then he went to Arsenal. Now it could be another option to go end up getting him. Problem is, not problem. Okay, first half of this is, do you do a swap with Archer, maybe with some money? I feel like Archer still, because of the valuation that was placed on him when Juventus purchased him originally, that's something that you're going to have to look at and say, hey, we need to make sure we get our money back. Otherwise, you're taking quite a bit loss. If you can get it at like 40 million or something like that, we'll see what happens there. But the other issue is Partey's out. The end of his season ended with an injury. I think it was also last time I saw an undisclosed injury. So we don't know how injured he is. We don't know when he's coming back. We don't know when he'll be physically fit. If I'm completely wrong on this is just my research, what I tried to find. But what it seems like right now is that he's got an injury. We don't know how long he'll be gone. Does that seem like a player that Juventus need to be going for right now when your midfield is in need of help? Maybe it's an injury that he'll be back by August and he'll be good to go. Injuries are worrisome. That's it. I mean, I know you guys are going to come at me about Big Z, but it's true. Yeah. Injuries are worrisome. And I don't have any kind of deep-rooted connection to Partey like I have Big Z, if I'm being honest. All right, and then the last bit of news today, Daily Mail reporting about some mystery player that Juventus could be interested in. It is everyone's crazy about this Hugo Ekitike. I'm gonna say that's what his name is. He's a young talent from Reims, Juventus, Bayern Munich, and that of Manchester United are particularly interested in the 2002 French forward. I saw he had 9 goals, 2 assists this last season. Don't know much else about him, but that could be another player. He's a center forward. I don't know if Juventus would really be out of all the options that Juventus are going for right now, that they go and add this player. He's 19 years old. I guess he could be a cheaper option, maybe, and that's maybe something that they would do. Maybe it's like a backup, or maybe I don't know. I have no clue what they could be doing with him, especially when you're talking about Raspadori. We're talking about Milinkovic-Savic. We're talking about Pogba. We're talking about center backs. We're talking about left backs. These are the things I'm looking at, not some center forward from France, to be honest. That's my personal opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on all the things we talked about, not just this one. Let me know about all of it. What do you think about those players? Who do you want to see go? Who do you want to see come in? And what are you doing to get through the rest of the season? Are you just looking forward to this game on Wednesday, and then you're just like, let's just get it done, and then we can get this ball rolling, get some good players in, and maybe we can go and make sure that we're competing for the Scudetto next season. Let me know all that in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to stay up to date with all of our latest videos. Hitting the like button really does help our community to continue to grow. All the algorithm stuff, it really does help. So please do that if you're here right now. If you haven't already as well, make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And you can follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter as well. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.